It's finally happened. I've wanted to be a full-time artist for years, and with the help of my previous employer,
You are fired!
I finally reached this seemingly impossible milestone at what feels like an impossible time to do it. And it couldn't have happened at a better time. I've got a show coming up in Mississippi, and I'm really excited about the guests that are going to be there, especially this one. So let's work on a painting, and hopefully I can get it signed by Alan Tudyk. For this painting, I'll be working on a 12-inch by 12-inch canvas, and the first thing I want to do is put a wash on it. A wash stains a canvas and creates an undertone for the painting. It also helps my video because a white canvas is difficult to shoot since it's so bright. To create my wash, I mix acrylic paint with lots of water. Then, after mixing it up, I just have to spread it onto the canvas evenly and let it dry. Now that the canvas is dry, I'm ready to transfer the sketch that I've prepared onto the canvas, and to do that, I like to use graphite paper. What I love about graphite paper is I can print my sketch out and trace each line to get the exact sketch on the canvas or surface that I'm working with. After I transfer the sketch onto the canvas, I can paint the sides and background of the painting. I'll be using a really deep purple and dark blues for the background, which I think is going to create a really good contrast with the lighter blues that I'm planning on using. It's time to mix it up. After applying the first layer, I can see that I'm going to start losing my lines, so before I continue painting, I'm going to outline my transfer. That way I'll be able to see my lines clearly even if I paint over them. Even though I'm able to go full-time painting, I can't just stay in the studio all the time. I still have to go out and meet people, hand out flyers, run errands, and do all sorts of things. The problem with that is if I mix a bunch of paint and then leave, it'll dry out and be ruined by the time I get back. But I have a solution to that. I'm going to try using this Stay Wet palette to see if my paints will still be good by the time I get back. Now, according to the instructions, there's a few steps I'm going to need to take in order to be able to use this palette. I need to place one of the sheets in the hottest water that I can get and let it soak for about 15 minutes. Next, I need to wet the sponge until it's fully saturated and then squeeze out about half the water. Then I can place a piece of the Stay Wet paper that we prepared in step 1 on top of the sponge and use a paper towel to wipe off the excess water. Once I'm finished with all of that, I can move my paint over to this palette to see if it's going to stay wet by the time I get back. After leaving for a few hours, it looks like my paint is still wet, so this is exactly what I needed. Alan Tudyk has been in some of my favorite movies and some of your favorite movies, even if you don't realize it. So the idea and concept behind this painting is that Harry from Resident Alien is trying to pick a movie to watch, and they're all movies that have Alan Tudyk in them. And even though I can't include everything he's been in, I thought this would be a really fun and playful homage to the work that he's done over the years, which also makes this a really fun painting to work on. One of the movies in the painting is Tucker and Dale vs. Evil, which, if you haven't seen it, this is a comedy/horror movie where a group of college kids convince themselves that these two rednecks are dangerous.
Run! Run for your lives!
It's one of my all-time favorite movies. It's so funny and is so quotable, and Alan Tudyk nails this role as a simple redneck named Tucker.
We have had a doozy of a day.
A real doozy.
Another one of my favorite Alan Tudyk movies is A Knight's Tale. This is the story of a peasant who decides to risk everything in an attempt at a better life. Alan plays a peasant named Watt, who is one of the friends and accomplices of William Thatcher, and he is undoubtedly the funniest part of this movie.
You're just a silly boy with a horse and a stick.
It's called a lance. Hello?
I also included Wish because Alan plays Valentino the talking goat, and my daughters think he's adorable and really funny,
I cannot swim!
so I wanted to include that movie in this painting for them. Let's take a few last looks at how this painting turned out. That's it for this painting, so the only thing left to do is to set up at this convention and get this piece of art signed. Unfortunately, I have a really hard time taking video and speaking in public, so I didn't get a lot of footage at the convention. I also was not allowed to take video or photos of guests, so I couldn't get any photos or video of Alan signing the painting. But I was able to get it signed, and now that I'm back in the studio, I can apply a varnish to seal and protect the painting from UV, dust, yellowing, and minor bumps or scrapes. Also, after checking the Stay Wet palette, all the paints are still usable, which is incredible because we've been gone all weekend. As much as I would love to keep this painting, my job is to sell artwork now, so this painting and prints are available on my website, and shipping is free anywhere in the US. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Be sure to check out some of my other videos, and I will see you next time.